Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. Yesterday, NSW New School Wrestling had their show Seasons Beatings free on YouTube, and I watched it. It was a really good show, and I'm going to review that show right here today. NSW giving us the third Ontario show in the past couple of days. So we had Barry Wrestling, Go Hard Pro with their debut show, and yesterday NSW New School Wrestling with Seasons Beatings. Um, the Go Hard Pro show I watched was a debut show. I did my review on that one. The Barry Wrestling show, I will admit, and I apologize to Barry Wrestling. I did not see that show yet. I haven't seen it, but yesterday I did watch NSW Seasons Beatings on YouTube, and it's on YouTube for free. Again, I thought the show was really really good, and I'm going to talk about that show today. It was filmed at an undisclosed location, and the opening match was the Miracle on 34th Street fight between TKD and Corey Stone. Corey Stone coming out in his street clothes. Now, this was not supposed to be the opening match, apparently. This match, I guess the both guys couldn't wait to get going. So it opened up. They're brawling on the outside of the ring. And before I go any further, I'm going to say this is going to be a spoiler-free review. So if you haven't seen NSW Seasons Beatings yet, I'm not going to give away any winners. I kept Go Hard Pro spoiler free. I'm going to leave this one spoiler free as well. Miracle on 34th Street fight, TKD, Corey Stone. Lots of weapons used in this match. They had hockey sticks, cookie sheets, garbage cans. A few doors were involved, and it was a really, really good opening match. Both wrestlers worked very, very hard to give us a good match. Lots of really near falls in this one. One spot I didn't like, though, is they were using cookie sheets to hit each other over the head repeatedly. I know it was a cookie sheet. Probably wasn't a really thick piece of metal like a chair, but it looked at one point Corey Stone hit TKD with the outer edge of the cookie sheet, which is harder than the middle. So it had to be a little. I was cringing a little bit at that shot for shot headshots that they were doing with the cookie sheets. Other than that, it was a very, very entertaining opening match. And there was one really, really good spot. Corey Stone hits a belly to belly on TKD through a door in the corner. And TKD went through the door like he was shot out of a cannon. And that was a really, really good spot. Really good spot there. And I said both guys worked really hard. TKD hit a rolling Daminator. They had a garbage can, a plastic garbage can he put in front of Corey Stone. TKD hit a rolling Van Daminator, and it just absolutely destroyed the garbage can. Just destroyed the garbage can, and that was a really good spot as well. But lots of close falls, as I said, but really good opening match. Really good opening match. Both wrestlers worked hard, and it was a great way to start the show. And I really enjoyed the Miracle on 34th Street fight. Then we had a Johnny DeLuca promo. He's saying that 2021 is going to be a little different for him. He's going to win some matches, maybe get some gold. I believe he said he might get some gold, but he cut a good promo there. And then match two, it was a four-man elimination match for the NSW Breast Knucks Championship. It was Andrew Love, aka Young Love, the champion, coming out with Travis Moore against Jax Williams, Evan Greenaway, and Marcus Gold. And this was a very, very good match as well. I really enjoyed this one as well. I was really impressed with Jax Williams. I've never seen Jax Williams before. Was very impressed with him. At one point, he was like a ball of fire in the match, and very impressed. But I will say that he did not win the match. I'm not going to say who won the match, but Jax Williams unfortunately did not win the match. And but we had a lots of talent in this one. Evan Greenaway, very talented. Marcus Gold just keeps getting better and better and better. And Andrew, aka Young Love, very, very talented. So this was another really, really good match. I really enjoyed it. Lots of really good action, interference as well from Travis Moore. He's had to get involved in the match, but very, very entertaining match. And I have no issue with the person that won. No issue with the person that won. I did think that I did have in my mind that the title might change hands in this one, but well, I think I just gave away I just gave away the ending, so I apologize. But I'm not going to say I'm not going to directly say who won the match. But nonetheless, very very entertaining match. I really enjoyed that one. Then we had the match three. We had the Vaughn Vertigo Invitational. They had some crowd chanting as well. They had some crowd chanting as well. You couldn't see any crowds. This was done at an undisclosed location. There was no crowd, of course, but there must have been a few people up in the loft because they had a loft um, by the above the ring, and you heard some chanting. And the first talent that came down for this invitational was Rob Banks. Not familiar with Rob Banks, and the match wasn't very good. And then this one, the lights seemed to be off during this match. Some more poor production value there. but but the lights seemed to be off, or or there wasn't as much lighting in this match. It seemed as for the others. But One Vertigo Rob Banks wasn't very good. Wasn't very good, and I thought that was going to be the only match. Thank goodness it wasn't. There were other matches. Jeff Vertigo showed up. Jeff Vertigo, aka Travis Moore. I guess Jeff Vertigo is Travis Moore's alter ego. And we had Jeff Vertigo versus Vaughn Vertigo. That was better than the first match that Vertigo had. And then after that one, the referee tries to get involved. Now this was the best. This was the best. I won't say the best part of the match, but this was a very entertaining part of the part of the match. The referee decides that he's going to enter the invitational. He rolls up one Vertigo, it counts, but Vertigo kicks out, and then Vertigo rolls up the referee, and the referee has to count himself out. The referee counts to three, and well, I gave away that spoiler. I'm giving away. I said I wasn't going to give away spoilers, but that's okay. That was very highly. I think that one is okay to give away because it was very entertaining. The referee being rolled up and have to count himself out was. I mean, he could have given himself a slow count. He could have counted to two and then stopped counting, But he's honest referee. He gets rolled up and he counts three, and he loses. He loses the match to Vertigo. And then after that, I thought that was it, but no. You see, out of nowhere, showing up was one of my favorite wrestlers in Ontario. Very happy to see her. Jody Threat shows up, and we get Vertigo versus Threat, and they had it wasn't a long match, but they had a very entertaining match, and glad to see Jody Threat there. Very very talented, very very talented wrestler here in Ontario, and it was Vertigo and Threats. Basically, I guess you could call this the main event of the Invitational, and it was a very very good match between Vertigo and Threat. But overall, I would say this was my least favorite match of the night. Least favorite match of the night was the Vaughn Vertigo Invitational. Sorry, just was my least favorite match of the night. And the next match, on the flip side of that, the next match was my absolute favorite match of the night, as it was Anti-Hero SOS Scotty O'Shea taking on Johnny DeLuca. And this match was just fantastic. Just fantastic. I absolutely loved this match from start to finish. DeLuca is so talented, as is Scotty O'Shea, Anti-Hero SOS. And they gave us one hell of a match. I mean, I was just so drawn into the match. I was standing up because there were a lot of close falls in this match. I was standing up. I was rooting for DeLuca. I'm not going to say who won the match, but I was rooting for DeLuca. And the match had been going on for a bit, and my wife had actually called me for dinner. She said, "Dinner is ready," and whenever dinner's ready, I'm running to the table. But and on this occasion, I didn't want to leave the match. I didn't want to leave the match. I wanted to wait until the match was over before I went up. So I had to wait for this match to be over before I left, because I had to see who won, because it was, like, again, they worked so well together, and you got to a point where you really root for Johnny DeLuca, and that's what I was. I was rooting for Johnny DeLuca to win this match. I'm not going to say who won, but I will say that this was an absolutely fantastic match, and I want to see a lot more of Johnny DeLuca in the future. Really enjoyed it. Match number 5 was the NSW Internet Champion Mark Wheeler against Mike Forte. I will say this was a really good match. Again, another really good match. Good back and forth action. Both guys worked hard. Anything Mark Wheeler is involved in is very very entertaining. I'm a big fan of Mark Wheeler, and Mike Forte gave him all he could handle. Really good action, good back and forth action in this one. And again, another really, really good match. Again, yeah, again, I will say you have to look past the production value. And I will say there were some matches where they had the camera up in the loft where the camera was not and I might have mentioned this already, but I'll mention it again. The camera was pointed. You couldn't at some point you couldn't see the bottom of the ring, and if the wrestlers were at the bottom of the ring, you couldn't really see what was going on down there. So that was something that they should not have let happen, to be honest. But again, look past the production value and concentrate on what's going on in the ring. And like I said, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. And Wheeler and Mike Forte, they gave us a good match. I really enjoyed that one as well. And then we had a Pretty Ricky and Eric Carney training promo. They're training in dresses. They wrestled the main event. The main event was Steve Brown, Alessandro Del Bruno versus Pretty Ricky Wilde and Eric Carney, Easy Eric Carney. And Wilde and Carney wrestled in dresses. I don't know what the backstory was there. They might have mentioned it during the show, but I might have missed it. But I don't know what the backstory was. Why they were wrestling in dresses, but it was entertaining match. Anything Pretty Ricky Wilde does, he's involved in is highly entertaining. And Steve Brown, Alessandro Del Bruno, Carney, and Wilde, four very, very talented wrestlers. And this main event, having them in the main event was just a recipe for having a terrific match. And that's what they gave us. They gave us a very, very good main event, and it was very entertaining. Lots of those funny spot where Ricky was trying to do anything with Steve Brown in the beginning. He was trying to hit some power moves, trying to lift him off the ground, but he just wasn't able to do it. Steve Brown, if you're an Impact Wrestling fan, you'll know him as you might have remembered him as excuse me, as Wheels Diener on Impact Wrestling. But very, very good main event, good back and forth action. And Pretty Ricky Wilde is one of my favorites. I love Pretty Ricky Wilde. And I'm not going to say who won. I'm not going to give away the spoiler. I'm not giving away the spoiler. And like I said, and really, really good main event. Really, really enjoyed it. So overall, NSW Seasons Beatings, very, very good show. Highly recommended. I will put the link for Seasons Beatings in this review. Well, on the YouTube page that on my YouTube page, the Alliance Pro Wrestling. I got tongue tied there. The Alliance Pro Wrestling Network, Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube page. I will in the description for this review. I will put the link to Seasons Beatings, and highly recommend it. It was a terrific show. Lots of great wrestling. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, I highly recommend NSW Seasons Beatings. Check it out. All right. Well, this has been the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. I am Lewis Carlin. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.